March 8, 2014. A day that would mark one of the most baffling aviation mysteries in modern history. Malaysia Airlines Flight MH370, a Boeing 777 carrying 239 souls, took off from Kuala Lumpur at 12:41 a.m., bound for Beijing. Less than an hour later, it disappeared. No distress call, no radar signal, just gone. Despite one of the most extensive search operations in history, what happened that night remains a mystery. Did the plane crash? Was it hijacked? Or was there a deeper, darker conspiracy at play? Tonight, we dive into the chilling mystery of Flight MH370, one that continues to haunt the world. MH370's flight was smooth as it climbed to 35,000 feet. At 1:19 a.m., the co-pilot, Farik Abdul Hamid, made his final transmission. Good night, Malaysian 370. Minutes later, the plane's transponder was mysteriously shut off. At 1:21 a.m., the aircraft completely vanished from radar. Air traffic controllers attempted to contact the plane, but there was only silence. However, military radar later detected an unexpected movement. The plane had veered sharply off course, heading west, away from its planned route. But why? Was this a technical failure, or something far more deliberate? As dawn broke on March 8th, news of the missing flight spread. Families of passengers gathered at Kuala Lumpur and Beijing airports, desperate for updates. But the airline had little to say. Speculations began. Was it a crash, a hijacking, or a technical failure? Every minute felt like an eternity for the loved ones, as they clung to hope while the world watched in shock. Within hours, search and rescue teams scoured the South China Sea, believing MH370 had crashed. But no debris was found. Experts suggested a sudden explosion or structural failure, yet no distress signal was sent. Then, a shocking revelation surfaced. Military radar showed the plane changing course, heading into the vast Indian Ocean. But why? Could this be the work of a hijacker, a rogue pilot, or something far more sinister? As the days passed, investigators turned to the flight crew. Captain Zahari Ahmad Shah, a respected pilot with 18,000 flying hours, was placed under scrutiny. His home flight simulator had been used to practice a route eerily similar to MH370's final path. Was this premeditated? Some believe he deliberately crashed the plane in an act of suicide, but others argue there was no solid proof. Was Zahari truly behind the disappearance, or was he an innocent man caught in a web of speculation? With no wreckage found, investigators turned to an unlikely source: satellite data. Inmarsat, a British telecommunications company, had unknowingly received hourly handshakes from MH370's satellite communication system. These pings indicated the plane had traveled for nearly 7 hours after disappearing from radar, flying deep into the Indian Ocean. But what was it doing all that time? And why was it still airborne? Scientists created a model called the Doppler effect to predict its final location. This shifted the search thousands of miles away, from Southeast Asia to the vast and remote southern Indian Ocean. With a new search zone identified, ships, aircraft, and deep-sea submersibles rushed to scan the ocean floor. But there was a problem. The Indian Ocean is one of the most unforgiving places on Earth. Miles deep, with underwater mountains and trenches, it was like searching for a needle in a haystack. The world waited, desperate for closure. But weeks turned to months, and no wreckage was found. The mystery only deepened. How could a 250-ton aircraft simply vanish? Then, in 2015, over a year after the disappearance, wreckage washed up on the shores of Réunion Island, east of Madagascar. A large barnacle-covered wing fragment known as a flapper was confirmed to belong to MH370. More debris soon followed, appearing in Mozambique, Tanzania, and South Africa. But something was off. Why were only small, isolated fragments found, while the plane's main fuselage remained missing? Some experts believe the aircraft shattered upon impact. Others argue it was intentionally ditched to sink in one piece. The questions mounted. but answers remained elusive. With no official explanation, theories ran wild. Did a fire on board disable communications, forcing the pilots to turn back? Was there a mechanical failure that caused a slow, inevitable descent? Some even speculated an act of terrorism or military involvement. A chilling theory suggests the plane was remotely hijacked. In the wake of 9/11, Boeing had developed a system to override cockpit controls in case of emergency. Could someone have taken control from the ground? Every theory brought more questions, but no definitive answers. Years pass, but for the families of MH370's passengers, time stood still. Many refused to believe their loved ones were gone, clinging to the hope that the plane had landed somewhere in secrecy. Some believe the truth is being hidden by governments. Protests erupted as families demanded answers, but the official investigations continued to hit dead ends. Their pain became a symbol of the world's frustration with the biggest unanswered mystery in modern aviation. In 2018, after spending nearly $160 million on search efforts, the official investigation was declared inconclusive. The final report stated that the cause of MH370's disappearance could not be determined. But one fact stood out. The plane's disappearance was deliberate. Someone had intentionally turned off communications, changed course, and flown for hours. But who and why? The world may never know. Even today, MH370's fate remains unknown. But with advancements in ocean mapping and artificial intelligence, hope remains that new searches might finally locate the wreckage. The ocean never keeps its secrets forever, and one day, the truth will surface. Until then, Flight MH370 remains the greatest aviation mystery of all time. What do you think happened to Flight MH370? Was it a technical failure, a hijacking, or something far more sinister? Let us know in the comments below. And if you found this story fascinating, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more true crime and unsolved mysteries right here on the Crit Stories. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.